Hello, and welcome to Under the Iron Flag, where we just want to talk about One Piece. On my left is our captain, Inagro,
I'm on the left, apparently.
and on my right is vice captain, Lucian.
Hello.
And we got our navigator, Saflam, in the house doing a bomb introduction. And
That is you. That is you speaking in the third person. Yes.
no, that was horrible. Oh my
Navigating
God.
the intro
I haven't done this in so long.
It
It's
has
been
been a
what?
long
You guys
break.
in a bit.
since
They've
we've
had
done
to
One
do this
Piece.
thing called school. Ew.
Uh,
Gross.
Not just school, but also things and stuff and just lots of carrying things. God, this sucks so much. Anyways, um,
Well, we're back.
but we're back, yeah.
We're
And
back.
unfortunately, we all read the chapters like 5 weeks ago. So it's going to be a little bit of review this episode just to get back into the groove of things.
Mhm.
Hopefully, you guys stay patient with us while we do this. I think Lucian has always been doing the reviews so far, so I'm going to hand it off to you
Yeah,
while
cool.
I look at my notes and pretend that I know what I'm talking about.
I have
So,
notes.
uh, starting off the, general chapter, we pick back up on the train, the sea train, as we're sort of making our way to Enies lobby, or breaching Enies lobby, I guess. Um,
Do you want to
and
start with maybe Frankie and Robin's conversation? Because
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the first chapter
sure.
of the
That was a
Enies lobby.
pretty interesting one. I think Frankie kind of talking about like, hey, they kind of like need us, like, or not maybe need us, but like we're kind of the two most important people as far as like the destruction of everything, goes, you know, like we hold the keys to the most powerful, weapon in the world.
Without them, weapons go bye-bye.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Frankie, the blueprints that has been passed down from shipwright to shipwright, and Robin just can read the poneglyphs,
right.
so
So
she can
she can
just
activate it.
rebuild. Yeah.
So she can
Do you think
activate it, and
the
he can make it.
what do you think the weapon is? Iron.
Um, a Metal Gear. It's a
What?
giant
Presumably some kind of ship,
mecha
right?
super weapon that's gonna kill everything. Well, I mean, it's a boat, but more of a flying boat. Well, a hovering boat.
Hmm.
Just letting you know that we haven't figured out what the weapon is in current chapter
Oh,
1069.
great.
So
Cool. Right.
you're on the theory boat with all of
Yeah, it's
us.
always fun when you get into a thing and you go, "Hey, I wonder what this is," and they go, "We don't know. It's been 20 years. I've just started playing the Trails of series, which is a now on their 12th game in the series, I believe, 12th or 13th, something in there. And near the beginning, there's this group of like, we'll say adventurers, and there's rankings like letter grades, and at the top there are four S ranks in the whole world. They are Jesus level, the super powered, basically greatest of all time. One of them's the protagonist of the first game's dad. The other three, nobody's met him. None of the games. They've been mentioned once or twice from what I've heard.
What? They haven't what?
There's like 13 games in.
Man,
Jeez.
that's crazy. Wow, I didn't think there would be anything longer than Detective Conan or One Piece.
And each game is between 50 and 100 hours.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
So I'm getting into too long series. Well, I say getting into. We're getting close to halfway through this one.
Yeah, we are
Uh,
actually.
yeah.
Relatively.
If we're counting it till 1,000, then yeah,
We'll see
we're
how many
getting
breaks we do.
halfway there.
Fair. But later on in that conversation is one of the more, you know, potent parts of Frankie saying, the government people, they call your existence a crime, but no matter what weapon you've got, just being isn't a crime. And, he's reflecting on Tom saying, like, there's nothing good, nothing bad in building a ship, like, uh, you making a ship, you all you did was make a ship, right? Like whatever happens afterwards, don't regret building it, you know? Uh, and existing isn't a crime, and him sort of conveying that to Robin is really powerful. And she keeps having these people tell her like, "Hey, you should really value yourself. We like you, we value you, but you have to value yourself."
And because of her entire life, like everything that's ever happened to her, she just goes, "Nah."
Yeah. What if I didn't?
It's a really powerful moment, and I never really appreciate, like, upon this reread, I'm loving Frankie more and more,
Frankie's
right? And
great.
I don't even
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even remember him saying that line.
Because
So,
he has no reason to do that for her.
yeah.
Like he hardly knows her, right? And he's saying that he's sitting there with her, saying like, hey, your friends are really trying to help you out here, and like he's not a friend of hers or anything. He's speaking from like an objective, relatively objective perspective here, and if anything, he had like a negative perception of her prior to sitting down and talking with her, right?
Right.
Uh, so
Mm.
I think it speaks volumes to Frankie's character to be able to sort of put that aside and uh, just treat her for who she is.
It's true, yeah. He's a lot more integral to this arc than I thought he would be. And I guess that makes sense going forward, since it looks like he's gonna join them later, in the final battles, but we
Mhm.
won't get into that yet. Can I just talk about the invasion of Enies Lobby that the
Yeah, yeah,
Spa
that's
had?
what we get to next anyway.
How they invade. I always loved this part growing up. It's just so much fun. It's so much chaos.
It really is.
And it's just like these people that we know, we've grown up with them for 400 chapters now, 400 plus chapters, and they are now invading a government entity, and it's not like it's out of character for them. Like, they're in character while they're doing it. Like, they're being
Mhm.
cool, but at the same time they're doing their hijinks. My favorite line is when they land the sea train on the giant, and they're all alive, and then the Marines are like, "Whoa, that's Pirate Hunter Zoro," because Zoro has a wanted poster, so they recognize him. And then Sanji's like, "It's so annoying that they recognize you." He's like, "Huh? Maybe they'll recognize you as like Pirate A or Pirate B." And Sanji gets like really pissed off. Like, those jokes are still in there, even though we're in such a serious situation, and it kind of just shows that the tensions from the last arc, like especially specifically Water 7, have kind of dissipated now, because we know that Robin didn't betray us. Usopp, we can't think about him right now. We have to focus on this one goal to get her back. And the dynamic is kind of back, even with Usopp as a different person. He still has that comedy to him. And I just love that One Piece keeps to that spirit of, like, staying positive, being optimistic, being comedic in such a serious environment. Like, in the last arc, we weren't allowed to be comedic at all because of all the really stressful things that were happening to the crew. But now that we have one goal, we can just invade a government entity, and it's no problem for us at all.
Mm.
So that's why I've always loved this invasion, specifically growing up. It's such a fun escapade. It's there's so many elements to it with the other two groups of people, the Galilea Company and uh the Frankie family, and everybody else that joins them along the way, like the Giants. It's creative, I think, is my final thoughts on that. What did you think?
Yeah.
What did you guys think of
I
the
like
invasion of
those. I
Enies
wanted to
Lobby?
say I like those giants, like them being there and be like another arc from a while ago having relevancy to right now.
Right, especially with their connection to the two giants that
Hmm.
we met at Little Garden, and how they got tricked into being the
Yeah,
guardians of this government entity. Just shows how crappy the government is. They're so horrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
They got tricked in the same way, or a similar way to how the giants the other giants got tricked. into fighting each other. Well, it wasn't really a trick,
Right.
more misunderstanding, but still.
Well, they weren't tricked. They were just stupid.
Yeah,
A
misunderstanding
little girl was
tricks.
like, "Who can like what was it? It was just like the bigger fish or something, you know?" And they're
Yeah, which
like,
one's
"No."
bigger?
Yeah, exactly. It was just like,
Little
who has the
girl,
bigger
the
fish?
government, potato, potato.
I think what iron means is the Baroque works messing with their
Yes.
bout.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So there's
Um,
this concept that the giants are like good-hearted, or maybe they like take things at face value. They don't think
that's
they
fair.
take action instead of, which isn't a bad like trait to have, but in
Mhm.
situations like this where you can get tricked or you can like go into a misunderstanding, right? It's not the
I
best trait to
I really
have.
like how, they're on the enemy side initially, and Usopp is the one, sorry, Soki King, is the one to be the one to convince them, like, he's the one who looks up to Brogy and Dory the most, His goal after meeting them sort of shifted a bit, you know? Like, he found like it felt like he really sort of shifted his ideals of like what a great warrior of the sea is after meeting the giants. And so he was definitely the most impacted by meeting Brogy and Dory. And then for him to be the one to convince Oimo and Kashi to join by telling them the story of meeting them, I think was really well done. You know, uh, and important for him. To have like a big role. I mean, to to have two giants come on their side is a big deal. Um,
It
Yeah, it
changes the
helped a
tide
lot.
of the battle.
yeah, and they played a huge role in the whole invasion. Um, so yeah, I really like that.
What what did you guys think of Luffy going in on his own at first?
5 minutes ahead.
Yeah, it was Luffy.
He literally went in 5 minutes ahead
I
and took
forget
down
what
a
they say, but
thousand
like
troops on his own.
something along the lines of like, why didn't we assume he was going to do that?
Yeah.
It's
That
true.
was fun. I really like the joke where the Spandam guy he gets contacted, and so the soldier has to reevaluate how many soldiers Luffy has
Mm-hmm.
beaten because every second he's
Yeah.
beating more soldiers. And
Yeah.
then he says he says go, which means five, like he's about to say 500, and
Uh,
then he gets hit in the head, so he says nin, so like gonin, which is like five people. And then Spandam
Yeah.
is like, oh my god, he only took care of five people, whatever, hangs up on them.
Yeah.
Just
And
one of my
actually,
favorite jokes in the entire series. Just the pun itself. And I think this is the most creative that Luffy has been in like you know what what is it called in video games when you have to fight a bunch of enemies? Uh
just I
Spawn?
don't know, like a
Horde.
mob battle,
Yes, yeah.
like horde. Yeah, like a horde
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah. I think either works, like a big mob sort of deal, or like a
Yeah.
horde battle. Either
So
are pretty common.
I took a lot of screenshots of him fighting the soldiers on Enies lobby. And there's this one there's this one page where he flips onto one of the doors. These are the big doors that are between the crew and Robin, right? And then he stretches off the handles and then he smacks back down and takes care of all of them. And then there's another one where he does Storm,
Storm was
Gomu no
really
Storm.
cool.
Yeah, and it looks awesome, just like the way he's turning and the hands are turning. It's such a cool double page spread panel.
Yeah,
So
Storm is
I
really
found
cool.
I'm just looking at my screenshots and my notes, and I'm kind of surprised that I took screenshots of those, but then I remembered why, because it just looks really creative and awesome and fun, and you can tell that he's serious, but still he has that playfulness, and he doesn't. He's still himself, I guess. He has
Um,
that confidence back to go back and get Robin. Um,
a lot of really good character like drawings and doubles page spreads this arc
right.
overall.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
sure. And then, after dealing with the mobs, uh, he we get the chapter. Which is it here? Chapter
383,
is it
Luffy versus
three?
Bluno.
But
Chapter, well, that, but also 387 and 388. which are Gear and Gear 2. But
Before that,
yeah,
before that, we have to do a very important thing and
yes,
establish with numbers power level.
that was so stupid. But
Why
I
are
think it's
there
literally a one-time
actual
deal.
numbered power levels?
I think it's literally a one-time deal as a joke for like these are the enemies,
Is
and
it? Is it?
like it's literally just it's just CP9 measuring other CP9 power levels.
Rob Lucci's power level 4,000.
Yeah,
Kaku is power level 2,200.
because it's Fukuro leveling or measuring their levels
And then,
in the first place.
Maybe
where...
one of his editors was like, "We need to have power levels because this is Shonen Jump." Maybe he added that just to do that because it does
I don't
feel
know.
out
It
of
could be
place.
that, or it could just be like almost a parody of it. I don't know, but it is literally just CP9 members.
The director is just 9. That's his power level.
Spandam.
Yes.
There's this there's this running joke with him and Khalifa, and like she's like, "That's sexual harassment." Like he'll be in the room and she'll be like, "That's sexual harassment."
Which is fair. Have you seen that guy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just a lot of good jokes. This
By the
running
way,
gags. This
the director has a power level of 9. Base Army or base Navy man has a power level of 10. So, you know, the dude with gun 10, director 9.
Does the director have a gun? I don't
Uh,
He
think
has.
so.
he has the Buster Call.
Yes.
Okay, that's not him. That doesn't count. That's like giving
He
a
has the
baby.
authority.
It's like, hey, here, baby.
Here, baby. Here's the nuclear football.
Yeah, here's the nuclear football. They are actually the most powerful person on the planet. They could beat
I mean, they
Dwayne
would be.
Johnson in a fight.
um, eh, what did you guys think about the dynamics between the CP9 members? I thought they were very interesting, but I want to hear your thoughts about it
I
first.
think it was a pretty fun group. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the new additions.
I agree. I think the
Oh,
other
they're
ones are
my
pretty
favorite.
forgettable and annoying.
Yeah.
Guys, come on.
I like the other ones though, from the last
Yeah.
arc, and the captain, like, or it was captain, or
My
commander, whatever it
favorite
was.
of the bunch is the guy with the pink hair who goes like yoy yoy, like he does
Yo
that thing.
yo. Yeah.
Where he, oh god, I love that joke where he's like, I will commit seppuku, and then he does the one of their moves, which is the hardening one. So then he stabs himself, but he does tekkai, and so he can't stab
Oh.
himself. His design is just, I think the new ones, their designs are kind of like, because he had to be laid back with the ones who are undercover, they had to look kind of normal to be undercover, so he just went crazy with these ones. The guy with the zipper on his mouth, the guy with his hair everywhere, the pink guy, and then the Jabara guy looks kind of normal, the new one that we've met. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know,
Also,
I like,
Kaku and Khalifa both got devil fruits.
right.
We don't know
Yeah.
what. I don't think that didn't get revealed yet, right?
No.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
No
weird
power reveals
that
yet.
It's weird that Lucci's just sitting there with him. I thought I didn't think he would be the kind of person that would sit with his subordinates and just like hang out with them. Like he's just having a drink. He's like, "Hey, eat it and see what happens," you know? That's what I would do. Like he's giving them advice about things. He's
I
do you
think
think
the
Lucci would be that kind of person? I
I
didn't
think for the
until when I
people
saw
he
him
has
like
like been with on the mission for the last few years, he would. The other three, no. Um,
no, but the other three were outside the door. They were like looking in, and the wolf guy, the Jabra guy was like, "Hey, don't take those." And he reveals a very interesting
oh yeah,
fact
you're
about
right.
devil fruits. Do you remember Iron? Probably not.
Probably not. It's been like 6 weeks.
Yeah, so the new guy with the whiskers is like, "Hey, I don't want to be near those. It's I heard that if you already have a so this guy he's already eaten a devil
Oh,
fruit.
that's
He's
right.
like, if you already have a devil fruit and you're near another devil fruit, you'll explode." And then Bluno like he's like
Hmm.
dispels that myth. he talks him out of it. He's like, "Hey, the only thing you blow up from is eating two devil fruits. Okay, you can't handle having two devil fruits.
I
You can eat
don't.
one though.
I'm just going to say lies. It might be true for most
Why?
people, but guess what? It won't be true for Luffy and maybe some other characters.
You think his rubber body just won't explode and he'll just be able to eat
Oh,
like 100 devil fruits?
sure, yes.
I mean,
It
but he
just
I don't know
doesn't
how
need
it
he's
one
works.
rubber,
hundred
so he
devil
can't explode.
Sure.
fruits.
He eats a fruit that is the can't explode fruit. And that's it. They'll find a
Eats the
way.
There was
devil fruit.
Luffy will find a way.
there was actually an SBS question earlier on where a fan was suggesting a move for Luffy to do where he would just like blow himself up, and then the author was like, "But he'd die if he blew himself up, so I'm not gonna do that."
Luffy could do it if he wanted to.
That's true,
Not wrong.
right? Uh,
I do it for
That's
a
an
joke.
interesting theory that you have there. Anyway, so that's revealed, and Khalifa and Kaku, why do they all have K names? They eat the new devil fruits, and we don't know what they are yet. But I just thought it was interesting that Rob Lucci has this, like, he hates Spandam. He's like, I will work for you, but I don't respect you. Like, he tells that to his face. And so Spandam's like, what do you want then? And Rob Lucci's like, I want blood.
Yeah, I want to kill
Like,
people.
Mm.
Murder is justified
murder.
when I work here, so I can kill people, and I don't get in trouble. I stay on this side of the gate when I kill people in this job.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it. And then he just goes and sits with his buddies and he's like, yeah, go ahead, take the devil fruits. Like after saying that ball or
He
something.
basically said like, you're already very strong, and you're not gonna be weaker from eating a devil fruit. That was the way he sort of explained it to them. Was like, whatever power you get, it's not gonna make you weaker. Was sort of the reasoning he gave of like, which is sort of interesting, right? Like, hey, you're
I'm
already strong. It's not gonna make you any weaker. Like
I'm sure there's one or two out there that they would think is a downgrade.
That's true.
Like, I'm trying to
Buggy.
think. There's some that like just physically change you.
there's a lot that just physically
So
change
some
you.
of those, I don't know.
Uh,
Most
would you
physically
guys
change
eat
you.
would you guys eat a devil fruit?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I like swimming too much.
Boo, swimming. Yuck. Gross. Get out of here. I've not been to the ocean or a
Why?
pool in like 7 or 8 years.
You don't even have COVID to blame for that. Get on that.
I just didn't want to.
What? You just don't want to swim? Like
No.
one of the best exercises ever?
No.
I
Never.
grew up swimming
Yeah.
in the Mediterranean Ocean, so I'm a big fan of swimming.
Fair.
Fair.
Okay, if you would even eat a devil fruit, what devil fruit would you eat?
Robin.
That's fair. It's probably the best one as far as just convenience
It's the
goes.
coolest one.
Yeah.
And it'd be convenient to have in real life.
How about you, Lucian?
Yeah, I think of the ones revealed so far, Robins.
I've thought about
What?
this if you couldn't tell.
Yes, I saw the second I asked, you answered. If I were to eat a devil fruit
Of the revealed ones.
of the revealed
Mhm.
ones, I think, I think, I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
I'm sure you probably have like a general answer of like all the devil fruits, but you know.
I just like I'd have to like one that comes to mind is like Luffy maybe would be really cool,
Mhm.
but no, that sounds like a lot of maintenance,
I
right?
feel like that's really hard
Like
to
clothes.
learn to use.
That's true,
It's
yeah.
like a pain in the ass to like understand how to like live with that.
Oh, then I think I would take the
Detrimental.
kilo fruit. I would do the kilo fruit
Oh, you
from
can be
Miss
like,
Valentine.
yeah, that's
I always
fair.
thought her devil fruit was really cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
And that way I don't have to like go on an exercise diet or whatever. Also, if somebody tries to rob me, I can just float away
Huh.
and then smash them.
That is a very specific use for that fruit.
Or if it's just heaviness, right? It's not like you gain strength, you're just heavy, right?
Hmm. What about the door fruit? Can that let you just teleport places?
I
No,
think it lets you
no.
Just
teleport
lets
where
you
you
open
know.
doors.
Oh, where you see, he said. It's like he's like, I
Ah,
saw you through the window, so I could open the door here.
that's pretty convenient.
But he
Mm.
can't like warp like you guys do in Final Fantasy 14,
That's fair.
right? So he has
Yeah.
to see it.
Be good for
Speaking
mountain
of,
climbing.
you wouldn't really be climbing then, you'd just be opening doors.
You're getting higher.
Okay, okay. Um, what do you guys think about Bluno versus Luffy?
I agree, you go first.
Which one was he?
The
What?
only 1v1 fight Luffy had.
Oh, okay. I was making sure I didn't forget. It was very good. I had heard of the gears.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't. I didn't
I
have
have
any
to like,
context, but gear is a power up, from what I understand, and it was cool.
Yeah,
it's
very.
Lu from what I gather, it's Luffy using his devil fruit in a different way.
It's him
So in
going,
this
I
case, have
am
they
not
explained
just
it yet,
gonna hit
Lucian?
you in the face
I'm
for once.
gonna
Uh,
hit you really fast in the face.
I can read the Gear 2 chapter stuff. That
Yes, I want
so
because I don't want to like spoil Iron
Again,
on
I'm
anything.
very
yeah.
sorry to anyone who's listening. It's been weeks since I've read this, and even then, even when it's been a day, I'm normally forgetful.
So chapter 388 is called Gear 2 or Gear Secondo, whatever. Uh
The best.
so Blue Nose says gear, your abilities evolve, like, there's steam coming from your body, and Luffy's like, I'm glad I ran into you here. And then he whips out a gum gum jet pistol, um, and Blue Nose like, oh my god, I can't see you anymore. Luffy
Hey, can
throws out
I
his stamp. Yeah.
can I stop you real quick? I just want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about the art real quick.
Yeah, it's super good.
So the chapter of is it chapter gear or is it
Gear. Yep, it's Gear
383?
387, Gear 2 388, or Gear
So
second.
gear. So in the colored manga, at least, Luffy's skin is not shining like it does in the anime. So Iron, if you go to YouTube right now, you write Gear Second, Bluno versus Luffy, whatever.
I won't do that,
The
but okay.
anime made it so that his skin was slightly pinker and that he was kind of like brighter, like he was shining a little bit to emphasize that he's like really hot at the moment. Like
Yeah, he's
uh
steaming. It's like,
he's steaming.
Mm.
But the manga does not do that. His skin just looks normal. He's just steaming right now. I do prefer the anime's rendition, but the smoke in the manga is just on a whole another level, and it's also foreshadowing for something like way, way in the future, which was really, really awesome because just awesome. It was just awesome. The fact that he foreshadowed this in chapter 487 or 483, whatever it is
388.
crazy to me. There you go, 388. And the smoke persists. I think Oda's just really good with smoke. I think that's my favorite effect that he's done so far.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I just wanted to mention those two things real quick, and you can go ahead and continue the battle.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like, Bruno's out of his mind. He's like, okay, I'm using like my six powers. I can't lose. I'll just, use shave or whatever it is in Japanese. I forget. Um, the speed one, and
Soro. Soro.
yeah, that's it. And Luffy's like, oh, he disappeared, and then he shows up behind him using the door fruit, and then Luffy just dodges him and smacks him. And he's like, I realized when it looks like you disappeared, you're just hitting your feet against the ground a bunch, and so I figured out how to do it. So thanks. Uh, and then Luffy hits him with a jet bazooka, uh, and it
That double
looks
take
like
spread is beautiful.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
Chef's
so
kiss.
cool.
Mhm.
And it looks like Bluno's still up. He's like, man, here, you're really sturdy. I'm gonna show you something even more interesting. Watch this. Gear. He puts his thumb in his mouth and then he falls over. He's like, man, I'm
Okay,
really
but
tired. My body can't keep up with this.
but Bluno didn't go down too easily. He did like that door thing on Luffy's eyes, and then he like opened doors from under him. So he was using his ability really well. It's just that Luffy was way too fast for him.
Oh no, as soon as he
And
got into Gear 2, he won, basically.
yes,
I
oh
mean,
yeah, that
he
happened
went
before
like,
gear. He went into gear two. You're
yeah.
right. You're
I
right.
mean, Gear 2, he goes so fast.
Decimated. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So it
so
hasn't. So gear second hasn't been explained yet.
I don't think so. How do you think it works, Agro?
Um, Luffy says I'm going to be more powerful, and then he is. I'm sure there is a mechanic behind it, but for now, that's all we know. And so I will believe it until told otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
don't
weird
I
that
don't
they
know.
didn't explain it. I thought they explained it here,
I
but I
think
guess.
that's in the
Yeah,
next
I don't
time he
really need
uses
to
it.
right now. Like it's not important right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just whipped it out the
Like
first time now. There.
How cool was it, Iron, for you as a first time reader? How amazing was it?
I wear in like near chapter 400, and this is for Luffy's first like power up. Like he's gotten stronger, but this is his first just I am now a new level of strength, and that was very surprising.
Mhm.
Because I
How
haven't read
many do you
many,
like
but
expect? Like, how do you think power scaling will work in this? Like, as far as like power ups and
mm,
all that.
he'll never be as strong as Shanks. Uh, I think Luffy will always be the strongest, obviously, other than Shanks, and maybe one or two antagonists. I'm trying to think how many there will be, because if we're
I
at
mean, like
numbered
power
now,
ups and like
yeah,
stuff like that.
I don't
Not
know. I think it'll
necessarily
work
strength
differently for every
within.
character. I would
Hmm.
assume. Like I don't think Zoro will come up and be like, Gear 5. But I think everyone will be differently for that.
Yeah.
Maybe actually, I'm going to change that. Most people will be different. There will be some antagonist who, during some fight, goes Gear 17. I was like,
I mean,
what?
uh,
Nami got a
Nami
cool
already
stick.
yeah, Nami already has a power up in her weapon, and
Yeah, the
Usopp
perfected
already has a
Gravitron. She took out
also has a
100
power up with his
dudes
weapon. Yeah,
with
Usopp.
one attack,
So good. I'm
including
sorry. I
Sanji
keep saying
and
Usopp.
Zoro.
I should say Soga King. I'm sorry. Soga
Yes.
King, massive disrespect.
Get it right.
um so we already have characters who've had power-ups, and Zoro already had like pseudo power-up in Alabasta when he cut through steel
Mhm.
when he was fighting Mr. One. So we've already seen power-ups throughout the series. It's just that this is the first time that our main character has
Well,
had
yeah,
a
I also
power-up.
feel like there's a difference to me, at least, between like
It's kind of like a
Zoro
Super
Zoro
Saiyan type
being able to
deal.
do a new thing and Nami getting a new stick and Luffy going, I am more powerful now. I am in my more powerful mode because I say so. Like,
That's fair. It's just more powerful.
I think
You
you put
mean
it.
like
Like, I
he's
haven't seen
just
Dragon Ball,
directly more
but yeah, he's
powerful?
like Super Saiyan now.
Right. But he did seem pretty wiped out after using it,
Oh, yeah.
so it
Yeah, he
seems to
had
be
to eat
putting
the
pretty
meat that he
significant
put.
strain on his
Oh, gotta
body.
learn.
He had
Yeah.
to eat the meat that he put in his pocket. That he stuffed in his pocket. Um yeah, that
It was a
year
good fight.
17 on a villain.
Gear
That's
17. Yep. We're gonna get, I don't know, Blackbeard. We're gonna fight him. It's gonna be going terribly. He's gonna be like joking around like, haha, you can't even land one hit on me. And then he lands one hit. And then Blackbeard's like, Gear 17, and then murders Luffy. And then we have the arc in Purgatory from Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
Oh man, that's funny. Um, you think Blackbeard's gonna be a villain?
I mean, he's an antagonist right now.
Okay.
I don't know
Alright.
if he'll be a
I just
villain,
wanted
but
to...
he's an antagonistic figure currently.
Is he?
Yeah. Well, he
He's
did try to
after
hunt him
them.
down,
He is after
and
them
yes,
right now.
Oh,
that's
okay.
He's
true.
in a
Yeah.
I
physical
guess.
act of hunting down our protagonists.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. I just they. My bad. I forgot.
He's not doing
I
very
wasn't
good
sure
at
what
it
was going
because of the
on.
whole them flying to the sky. Did he give
Yeah, I was
up?
gonna say they were going up to the sky, and I forgot like what they were in the
Yeah.
process
I
of
can't
doing
remember if
at
he
that
gave
time.
up. They might have gone to do something
I don't think
else.
it's been
Or
said.
no, they got called back to
It's
the
just like,
capital or whatever. Like they got called back to the meeting with a bunch of other people. If I remember right.
I think you're right. Yeah.
It's been a while. We'll find out soon, hopefully.
Hmm.
are you talking about the meeting of the seven warlords of the sea?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. And one of I don't
Believe.
somebody was there with the top hat. Do we know who he was?
We'll talk about it
Top
next
hat.
time we cut back
No,
there.
I don't think so.
We'll get to that
Okay.
when it
But
comes.
so actually, the next chapter after that Gear second fight, uh, Luffy's still chilling on the roof. Uh, and he sees Robin, and he's like, "Oh, Robin, sick, you're there!" Like,
Okay,
hey,
yeah,
oh,
but
okay,
how does
Frankie's
Robin get
there.
there?
How does Robin get there?
Mm,
Uh, was it the coup de fart?
inside the building, and Luffy yells out Robin's name, and so Frankie's like, "I'm gonna take you to I'm gonna take you to them so that you can face them." And then he
I
blows
forgot.
his his body expands. I'll put it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
terms we can
I
understand.
tried to
His
block it out from my memory. I'm sorry.
his body expands, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna blow myself up," and so everybody runs away. But he's actually just doing a coup de bout, which
Hmm.
is he's farting a
Yes.
lot. So he's
He
farting
Yeah.
so much
blew up
he
the
went through
wall.
2 cement walls, um, almost falls into the waterfall, and then Robin faces Luffy. You continue. I'm just gonna leave that there.
So Luffy was like, "Oh, Frankie's there too. All right, chill. I'm gonna jump over." And as he's gonna jump on over with like a rocket or whatever, she's like, "Hold on. Like, how many times do I gotta tell you I'm not coming back? Go home. I don't want to see you anymore. Why did you come to save me? I didn't ask you to come. I just want to die." Um, Frankie's like, "What? Like, they risked their lives to come save you," and she's like, "That was up to them." And you know, Luffy just kind of stands there and looks. CP9 gets a good laugh out of it. They're like, "Well, this is funny. Let's just let them kind of be. We'll watch."
They also get a really cool double page spread.
They do.
CP9.
But then next chapter, Straw Hats get a cooler one. So
Yeah.
A much cooler one. Maybe my second favorite double page spread in the series so far.
yeah, it's very good. The rest of the Straw Hats meet up on the roof after Luffy's like, "You want to die? What are you talking about?"
No, I like that he counters her logic by saying, if you want to die, that's okay, but you have to die on your own terms. Like,
He's like,
you
just
can
just
come
die
back to
later.
us, and then you can die.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, if you want to die, just die later. Don't die here. Uh, and
Because her logic isn't sound. Like, she's not doing this because she wants to die. She's doing this to protect them, and he
oh
knows that.
right, yeah,
So he's trying to like kind of get one up on her, I guess, through that logic.
yeah, and he's like, if you want to die, just say it to our faces. And then it leads to them sort of learning, not directly, I guess, us learning her background after Spandam is like, "Ooh, look, I have the button. I'm gonna press the button."
I don't
And
believe you.
Push the goddamn button.
Yeah.
Do it. I dare you.
From
He's
You know
just like,
right.
you're on the
look,
same landmass as we are, right?
he's like, of course I wouldn't get hurt. Why would I get hurt?
You
I'm with them.
know his
Uh,
dad made the same mistake in the past in the flashback. His
huh.
dad was like his dad was the government agent that pursued the librarians of O'Hara. So
Hmm.
Spandam has a history with Nico Robin, whether he knows it or not.
Hmm.
Um, and he made the same mistake. He's like, "Whoa, why is everybody blowing me up? Let's get off this island. Who cares about these people? My safety is my priority. Th- My safety is the number one priority of you agents." Like his dad is
Hmm.
literally the same person.
What
Anyways,
did you
continue.
guys think of this flashback?
Oh, it was great. Fantastic.
Uh, Personally, best flashback in the series so far.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
What about you, Saflam? Just general thoughts on the flashback, and then we'll go into specifics after.
Robin's flashback is it's not a tough one for me. It's just really hmm. I've always liked it. I'm not saying that I don't like it, but I don't think it's one of the best in the series. I
Really?
don't think it's the best so far. I think um who's better? Was it Chopper or Sanji? I think I like Sanji's and Nami's backstory
Boo.
a little better than
Nami's is pretty
Robin's.
good,
Nami's is
Um,
fine.
but this
but I
one
think
was very good. I prefer this, but I understand what you mean with Nami's.
it's very lore dumpy, this one,
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
which kind of
Yeah.
Yep.
distracts it from the emotional stuff that's happening, which is fine. Like we can have lore dumps and flashbacks. That's
I
okay.
don't know. It made me cry.
Um,
I forget what
I came
point, but I
close.
wrote down that it made me cry.
I didn't cry. I know it too well, and
Yeah,
like
I remember it
Bit
incredibly well too.
near the end where Robin's trying to like how to put it. She's saying like you're my mom. You know, you're my mom, right? And her mom's pretending not to know her to protect her.
yeah, that
And then
was
Yeah.
she
really
just goes, "I can
heartbreaking.
read the polnograph for you." And then her whole life
Oh.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we
It,
learned so much like lore within the flashback about like the Void Century, the
Oh yeah.
poneglyphs,
Hmm.
O'Hara.
And the new
Um,
best character of One Piece, Saul.
Thank you. Okay, agreed.
Love him. Love him.
100% agreed. He's genuinely to this day one of my favorite
The nicest
characters,
guy
and
ever.
I'm not kidding.
Just the nicest
Uh,
guy to
that's
ever live.
interesting. I
his
guess
laugh is by far the one I remember the most. Like,
yes, that's true.
uh, when I think of One Piece laughs, his comes to my mind. Like, I always hear the
And the weird face he makes while doing it.
It's so
I think
funny, and like the Robin version of it is so cute. It just warms your heart every
Mhm.
time.
I think Saul is the best part about this flashback for me. He's just such a weird addition. He's just a giant. A
He's
giant
just
came
a
on
guy.
shore and Robin takes care of him.
Mhm.
That's just some random thing that happens, but actually he's connected to the Marines and
And
his
he's so
mother and
But
nice.
actually,
Aokiji.
he's a vice admiral.
Yeah, I do like when he's like, wait, where am I?
Actually, no, was he an admiral or a vice
He's a
admiral?
vice admiral, yeah.
Vice. Okay,
Mm.
okay.
He's like, where am I? Oh, what do you mean I've been here for weeks and I'm just sitting on a beach?
I'm sorry. Did you say I'm on O'Hara? Oh my God.
I need to leave.
No, I like her flashback, but I don't think it is the best in the series so far. I think
That's fair.
Sanji's and Nami's are stronger.
I mean,
Um, but it's what so it's her the flashback alone is not powerful, but when you add like her going through her life and then them at Enies lobby and then her making the proclamation, we won't talk about that yet in a second. But when you add it all together, it makes it stronger. But the flashback by itself is just not
mhm,
doing that status for me. But I
that's
get why you
fair.
guys think it's the
Yeah.
best so far.
I mean the like the Cinderella treatment from the family, the do the chores, get fed scraps, treated poorly by the family. That's obviously a little cliche, overdone, whatever.
Living under the staircase like Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Oh my God, Nico Robin is Harry Potter. We figured it out. Even her mom even died for her. We figured it
Solved it.
out.
doesn't exactly make me feel too, it makes me roll my eyes, not care for her.
You're a
That
wizard,
part.
Robin.
Um, but the like that leading to her spending time with the archaeologist is cute,
Yeah, I
like
love like literally everyone in
she
that
gets her
building going,
doctorate at 8 years
Robin, we love
old.
you, Robin. You're the best.
I wish I
Like
got my PhD at 8. Like,
they're like, congrats, you're an actual doctorate archaeologist at 8 years old. And they wouldn't just give it to her because like, oh, we like the kid.
They're
Like
actively
I'm
trying to
100% sure
stop
she
her from
she got
progressing
it.
in her field.
Exactly. It's just she's too smart and cares too much and has nothing better to do because she's, being abused everywhere else. This is the one place people are kind to her before her giant friend shows up. So,
this is how smart Robin is. It takes the average person 10 years to get their doctorate. She did
mhm.
it in 8. She did it in less than 8. She
I was
was
gonna say
a
I don't think
babbling
she was a
baby
And
yeah, I don't
for
think she
most
was
of
a
that time.
newborn.
that'd be a fun picture though.
Buddy.
Yeah, newborn learning archaeology.
Literally,
All
like,
right,
it's just
Robin, time to get your
her mom
degree.
holding her for the first time. Going, okay, I will now read you from this scientific journal.
I mean, that seems like
These are
something she might
bedtime
do.
stories, probably, actually.
When did her mom leave her? Did they specify the age? She
I
was like
forget. It
5.
was pretty
It's
young. Like
been
she
long.
doesn't
She doesn't
remember her
remember
mom,
her.
but like that could be like 2 or 3 years old.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she was so cute.
I mean, even when you're
I
that
like that
young, it
her
could
mom
just be
has like
3 years.
silver hair. Her mom has like this silver hair, which is cool.
Mm.
In the anime, the mother is played by the same voice actress who plays Robin.
Yeah, like adult Robin.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool because it's the same voice, but it's a different character, and that woman has the range of, you know, all the
Mhm.
voice actors do a stellar job in this part of the arc. They do a stellar job in any arc ever. They are the one constant throughout the One Piece anime. The the voice actors
Mm-hmm.
are
Yeah.
the best
The
thing about the anime.
pace, the animation at times, voice
Yes,
actor is always good.
yes. So,
But
Iron, I really want your opinions about the lore in this part
oh
of
yeah,
the
there's
flashback.
so
To be
much.
remember, it's been a while. I don't remember all the details. Sadly.
Let me pull up the page that I
Yes.
screenshotted.
You pass something by
So,
me, I will go, ah, yes, I remember. That is cool.
I also have
okay.
a whole
Sadly, it's
chapter
been a
up.
while.
Oh, that's the chapter you're talking about. Okay, so I screenshotted the
395.
page where Clover is talking to the Gorosei, which is the
Okay,
5
yeah, I
elder.
have 395
Okay.
up for that as well. Yeah.
So this is my translation of the events. So Clover's talking. If we assume that those people were defeated by enemies, it's very likely that the said enemies then lived on into the history thereafter. So he's talking about how the 20 kingdoms gathered together to the original 20 kingdoms gathered
Yeah.
together to make the world government. They fought somebody else. So he's talking about that somebody
Yeah.
else.
He's saying like the people who wrote down the poneglyphs had an enemy
Mm-hmm.
who forced them to write down the poneglyphs and leave proof behind that they existed, basically,
Hmm.
because
Uh-huh.
they couldn't put it down in paper and books,
So,
so they
and then
had
he
to carve it
says,
into poneglyphs.
Surprisingly, when the Void Century 8 ended 800 years ago, the world government came into existence. And then the elders go, shock! Exclamation points, dot, dot, dot. Um, Clover says, if the enemy of the quote unquote fallen people is the current world government, then the Void Century could very well be some inconvenient part of history that the world government wanted to conceal.
Yes.
So the Gorosei earlier said that, oh, we can't uncover the hidden history because of those weapons. It's too dangerous. And so Clover's like, BS, you guys want to hide something. So this is his reasoning. So he's presenting his thesis to the 5 most powerful people in the world through a very bad phone connection. And then he keeps reading. By reading through the documents from the past and some poneglyphs that we found, we eventually realized that there once existed another country. Nothing remains of it, but the documents did verify the existence of this enormous kingdom. That is the page that I screenshotted, and then it
Hmm.
shows a little picture of what this kingdom might have been. I don't know if the next parts are important, but this is the page that I
I
screenshotted.
can
So
Very
follow up
you
with
excited
want
for
my
the Atlantis
translation.
arc.
Yes, go ahead.
It appears that they once had enormous power, but all information about this kingdom has been relentlessly erased. It is probable that these people understood they would be destroyed by this alliance of nations, later called the world government, and carved the truth of their existence onto these pieces of stones, which survive to this day, known as the poneglyphs. And the girls are like, interesting hypothesis. Uh, and so, without a doubt, the so-called ancient weapons could destroy the world. However, and more importantly, history will reveal that the very existence and idea of this kingdom is in fact what the world government finds so threatening. Isn't that so? And they're silent. We still don't know the nature of this threat, but the key is the ancient kingdom, or is this ancient kingdom that once thrived, and its name was, and they say kill him, and then he gets shot. So what
His
made
name
them
was One
decide to
Piece.
burn it down was him about to say the name of the kingdom. So that was what was considered too dangerous. Like the knowledge,
Hmm.
I mean, everything in general was too much, but whatever the name of the kingdom was too much information, and that was what caused the Gorosei to called in the attack.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, O'Hara has learned too much. Attack."
Yeah, one of them holds their head in their hand in their heads, their head in their hands.
That
Head
yes, yep.
Shkabada-bada-bada, shkibidi-ba. I'm speaking the English. Um, and he's like, "Oh crap! Like we have to murder everybody
Yeah,
for
I
the
mean, he
greater
literally
good."
says like, don't leave a single soul alive. Like it doesn't matter if they're archaeologists or not. Like you got
They
to kill
even they
everyone.
kill the passenger ships. They kill
Hmm.
everybody. They kill all the
They killed
civilians.
the escape boat,
Oh
which had Marines on it, I think,
my
or
God.
Navy officers, whatever.
Wait,
But
yeah. Iron, what did you think of those lovely, wonderful lore dumps that you love so much?
Very good. I basically I've learned a little, but have more questions. Which in
Like
long
what?
running franchise always the way to go. Answer one question, ask two more.
We still don't know anything about this
Yeah, yeah,
kingdom. Like,
I can figure. We'll get
we've
there.
barely like
I don't
scratched
want
the
to think
surface.
about that right now. We'll get there when we
It's
get
good
there.
that you're starting now, because
I can
I'm
come.
still
It's
just
fine.
thinking.
You don't have to say anything that you would not want to risk
Yeah.
spoiling. But I
Scooby-Doo
am
bada ba.
happy to come in with a fresh perspective, so I can tell you that the One Piece is a spaceship.
So, why do you think the government wants to conceal?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right, that's
I
fine.
wish I
Just
had
follow
a
it.
good theory about it, but the at some point I just started going, I do not know, and I'm not gonna be able to guess.
Lucian, why do you think they wanted to conceal the name specifically, at least?
Uh,
uh, the my theory on it comes from stuff that I
Okay.
also know
don't worry
from
about it.
too later on, so I
I'll
don't want
expand
to
and
get
say
into it.
specifically the name. I would assume if you learn the name, you then will look at like if you know the name, you'll then look over to your left for something related to the name, which will then lead to something else. The name is just the
Right,
first
right.
step in a long process of things.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
It's like the Harry Potter thing where like names have power. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Also, just like it's like if you're able to read the polling graph, sure, being able to read them is one thing, but more importantly is reading them. That's worse technically.
Mhm.
Um, I guess I never had a theory about why they wanted to keep it silent. I mean, we literally have like no information about why they did want to keep it silent, in my humble opinion. I know a lot of people would beg to differ, like, oh, we're getting lore dump after lore dump in these recent chapters, but I'm just like, I'm still waiting for my questions from this specific page to be answered, and that hasn't happened yet. So I
Yet.
guess, yes, I guess my theory is that the, I guess I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick with that.
Mhm.
Good answer. Good answer. No spoilers in the answer. Perfect.
uh, okay. So we go back to the oh, what did you think about Aokiji and his relationship with Robin, how that started?
Well, I
Or
think that's still
him,
tied to Saul. We should probably talk about Saul a bit
yeah,
more before we go into
sure,
Aokiji.
sure.
The
Um,
best soul.
yeah,
Nicest guy to
Sag.
ever live.
So
Rest in peace.
Saul, gets shot in the face with a cannon, and
I'm just gonna walk that off.
yeah, he does. And so then Kuzan, aka Aokiji, um, attacks him. He goes after him, and Saul is like, look at this. Is this justice? Like, look around, And then the evacuation ship gets blown up, uh, and you know, he's just like, really, is this justice? Like, look around, and Saul, dies to protect Robin, and he says to her, run away as hard as you can, and uh, listen carefully. You're all alone right now, but someday, without a doubt, you will meet friends. The sea is vast, and someday, for sure, you'll find friends who will protect you. No one is
Um,
ever born into this world completely alone. I think that's what made me cry. It was that, for
I'm
sure.
tearing up right now.
Yeah.
That's probably what made you cry.
Uh-huh.
That
And
moment
then
is
go and
so
find your
impactful.
friends, Robin. That, and
Especially
then,
the,
yeah.
sorry, I keep interrupting you,
Oh, no,
but
you're good. You're good.
just the way the anime kind of frames it the second time round when she finally says she wants to, I think the anime does this moment way better than the manga, but just because it has animation, literally, it's only because the pictures are moving and they have the voice actors.
Hmm.
But the manga does it really well too. It's just those words, they need to be said to a lot of people. A lot of people just don't have that. They don't have that person in their life, you know? And
Yeah.
Robin didn't either for the longest time. And so you can immediately relate to her. Like, I feel like anybody could relate to her. All of us have felt lonely at
Mhm.
one point or another, and she's felt lonely for most of her entire life. Her 28 years, or
Hmm.
20 years at least, after the archaeologist died and her mother died and
Hmm.
Saul died.
And Olivia's last words to her mom's were, live, Robin. So like those were her last words, and then Saul's are, go out and find your friends, and so go and live with them, you know. So
Yeah,
both of them are their final wishes for her are like live and find your friends and be happy, but then 20 years of hardship twist that and make her forget and make her uh, you know want to protect those friends by tossing away her own
sacrifice.
life.
Yeah.
But
And then,
like you were saying, Aokiji, yeah.
yeah, Aokiji
um
just like lets her go I don't know if it's out of respect for Soul or maybe because she's 8 years old,
yeah, I think you said the
Honestly,
seed Saul
yeah.
protected. I wonder what she'll grow up
It
to
seems
be.
just like being interested to see what happens.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm not an ally, like I'm gonna come after you again, so I'm not gonna help you again. uh
I think he
you
said
know
he would come after her if she goes on the wrong path. He's like, I'm letting you go on the right path.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you
If you
can see
attempt
she gets
anything, I'll
that.
be the foe who
Yeah,
will come
because
after
she
you
gets that
first.
wanted poster and he gets upset at it. He's like, now I have to hunt her down. Like she's never gonna get that life that
Oh, I
second
see what
chance
you mean.
gave her. I think that's what he meant by that. So,
Yeah.
mhm. And he's been following her throughout the years, and like he said in Long Ring Long Land, every group that she's been a part of has been dismantled or destroyed.
Hmm.
So it just goes to show the life that she's lived so far. And you're finally putting all the pieces together. You finally have the full picture. And even with all of that, she's still stubborn. She's still, like you said, been twisted by 20 years of hardship.
Yeah, and I mean, even the start of that hardship, those final panels of the flashback of like Saul, when you're hurting, laugh, you know, and then her home burning down in the background, and her, there is she, there is she, and then just breaking down into tears. It's like, oh my god, my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, you just want to
Iron.
protect.
Yeah. Iron, what did you finally have her backstory as a first
Mhm.
time viewer? What are your thoughts on it? And be explicit, please.
Oh, you don't want me to just say, "Oh, it was good."
Yes, please.
It
Say
was
something
good
else.
though. It was just good. Like I don't have no complaints. It was Robin's by far the best character. She has been for a while and is continuing to do so. And like it was, they built up to her character arc for a while now, or her backstory, and it was satisfying. Like a lot of the time, you'll get someone being introduced to like, "Hey, what's their mysterious backstory?" And they just tell you, and they're like, "Oh, I wish you hadn't told me." Uh, but no, like
Yeah,
the
sometimes.
characters in it were interesting. The like just paneling was interesting. The connections to the present were interesting. Good reveals, good character development.
Even the
Like,
brief little like from like 8 years old to now, like how did she get here? Like those groups that
mm,
you know, how did she lose
yeah,
trust in humanity? You know, that was pretty cool too. And it was fast. They're like, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Fill in the
Uh,
blanks.
also, question:
I'm really
Are
glad you brought.
you
Sorry, go ahead. You go.
okay? Are flashbacks drawn on black paper,
I don't know.
or are they just drawn in like
I
are
think
the
the
outs
border
are the
is just in
borders just
black.
drawn in
The
black?
outline. Yeah. I think the everything is drawn in white. I don't think I've ever heard of him drawing in black. Otherwise, wouldn't the panels be white thing? It wouldn't be like inverted.
Well, I
You
mean,
get what I'm saying?
it still would look similar. Just he'd be drawing the white parts instead of the black parts of the image.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm
Hmm.
not sure.
I'll have to look into that. Just curious.
Um,
What were you saying?
I just wanted to say that I'm glad you brought up the fact that some characters they don't like need a backstory.
Hmm.
Like for example, the Doctor from Doctor Who, you don't need to know like his flashback or what made him who he is, you know. It stays a mystery and
Hmm.
that's what makes him interesting as a character, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Um,
You haven't watched the
but
13th
then
Doctor's Run, have you?
I've heard of what they did with the 13th.
I haven't watched it
It
either,
was so
but
bad she went back to David Tennant. Um, so and then yeah, it's always scary to like, oh, what is the backstory gonna be any good? Like, is it gonna live up to the hype and all that stuff? But in One Piece, generally the backstories do live up to the hype. I say generally because in the future there will be a backstory that I will be ripping on. Hopefully, when we get there. Um, but I think Oda does a good job of setting up payoffs. Like he even does little hints throughout where we know Robin. So for example, when we're in Ring Longland, we're up against a fishman giant. He's like half fishman, half giant. Remember when Zoro and Sanji were fighting those three
hmm.
dudes in that battle? And Robin makes like a comment where she's like, he's not as tall as a real blooded giant. Like she just makes a comment. And
Oh,
like you think about it, it's like, how would you know that? And then you go to her backstory. Turns out she helped a real giant when he was lost
wounded.
and
Yeah.
ashore on her island. So he's really good at setting up those expectations. And if you reread the series multiple times or rewatch the series, you'll start to notice these little character bits. And then you're just like, wow, this is just amazing. Just in the rereadability of it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
Oh,
mention.
for sure.
Yeah.
And
It's
then Robin says the ultimate
Their
line, the
speech.
best line in the series.
Yes.
uh, wait, we have her fighting with them, and then we have the flashback, and then
And
Luffy
then,
says, "Say
mhm,
you want to live." That line is so.
yeah,
I'm getting emotional.
oh yeah.
so
Says,
good.
"Say you
I
want
have
to
seen
live."
that image of Robin crying about 10 billion times.
Yeah, it's a pretty famous video on YouTube.
Yeah, there are about two things that I've seen consistently and don't know context for, but I know about. There's that, and then did you know the One Piece is real?
Thanks,
Mm,
TikTok.
thank you. I have no idea what the actual context is for it. Like at this point, the memes are so far removed that I've seen them
It's
mostly related
fair.
to like Better Call Saul, and I assume the image of Oh no, you're gonna get mad at me.
Whitebeard.
No, not Whitebeard. I can't remember
Oh.
his name.
Chopper.
Well, thank you. I couldn't remember Chopper's name.
Oh.
I was
I'm
going to say
disappointed.
I assume the image of Chopper crying from way earlier is not normally associated with One Piece is real, but it is to
Oh.
me for some reason. Thank you,
It's
memes.
the meme, I think.
The memes.
I haven't seen. My sister sent me a picture of some university. She was at her university, and somebody
Mm.
drew that scene where Chopper's crying. It's from the movie. It's
Yeah,
from the movie version
there's
of
so many
events.
redraws of that scene. It's insane.
And she saw it redrawn on her one of the whiteboards in a classroom she was passing by. She took a
Oh,
picture and she sent it to me. It's like, wow, this meme has gone far and wide. Um, but the that line is pretty cool. The One Piece is real. It's a pretty
Mm.
cool line.
we'll get
But
to
Not
it.
anymore.
One day I'll read it and not
Lucian
laugh.
is so mad.
But still,
No,
even
but
even
But
having
this one
seen
still is cool,
this image of
thankfully.
Robin crying a billion
yeah.
times, still hit
Now
really
you have
hard.
context.
Very,
Now
very
you have
good.
context. And she
You know,
says,
she's like, I didn't think I could wish for that. You know, like
yeah.
no one allowed me to.
Probably
And then she says,
you.
I want to live. Take me out to sea with you. It's not just the I want to live part that gets me. It's
Mhm.
the like that's her dream, right? It's to go out to sea because she wanted to go out to sea with her mother. She wants to go out find the history. And then everything about her just like clicks into place, and you start crying. I'm crying right now just thinking
Yeah.
about it.
As
Probably
good as
my.
that is too, I love the build up to it as
Well,
well.
I'm gonna get. I'll get to that. We're gonna get to that in a minute because I have a lot of cool, good stuff to say about that.
Go
First,
for it.
I just want to say probably my second favorite moment of the series.
What's number one then?
Oh, the end of what's it called? The fist in the air scene.
Alabasta?
Yeah, end of Alabasta.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
fair.
I don't think that'll ever be beat. Uh, we'll see. Probably not though. But yeah, the build up to that scene of first, I can't remember which is first, but first of them being like, do you know what you're doing? You're fighting.
Yeah.
That would be fighting the world government. That's
Look
crazy.
at that symbol. It represents the unity of more than 170 nations allied across the four seas and the Grand Line. It represents the world. Do you know how frivolous that resistance is? Do you understand the sheer power of the organization that is after this one woman?
A Sniper
Wow,
King,
Lucian
Luffy's
did
like,
a
yeah,
whole
no,
shoot
thing.
it.
I get it. I get it. Soga King,
Lucian, do you have a voice
yeah.
acting career we don't know
Soga King, shoot down that flag.
Boom. It's like you threw a bomb at it. Like it's just gone.
Dude, the reaction shots.
about?
And everyone's like, "Well, you're absolutely insane. You just declared war on the world government."
Yeah. His like bring it on,
Mm.
the like, oh my god. It's so well
Oh yeah.
done. It's he doesn't care. He's a pirate anyway.
Yeah.
Like being a pirate is sort of it's already a declaration of war on the Navy, which
Yep.
by extension is a declaration of war on the world government. Now he's just really declaring war
Yeah,
on the
and
world
they
government.
all know that they're getting into trying to get Robin out at this
Yeah,
point.
they're on the government's doorstep anyway. Like
Mhm.
they're just being real direct.
Yeah, and then you have Frankie going, oh, like he's crying and
I
going, oh,
love you
I love you,
guys.
you guys are great, like,
You guys are the best.
and then burning his instructions,
Yeah,
He's
not yeah
betting
the
on the Straw
blueprints.
Hats.
blueprints. That's it.
Because the
Yeah.
blueprints were supposed to be a failsafe in case
Mhm.
they got Robin, right? But now that he sees what lengths that the Straw Hats are going to, he's like, I'm gonna bet on them
Mhm.
to win this fight, and I'm gonna help them win this fight, you know? So I just wanted I can't believe I forgot that they burned the flag and I just went straight to the moment. I'm sorry about that,
Oh,
guys.
you're fine. But even before that, I really like Robin's emotional stuff before the shoot down that flag of like, you know, she doesn't want to. She's explaining why she doesn't want to be saved. You know, like explaining the Buster call. Like we now know O'Hara, but she's saying like, she explains it to the Straw Hats, and
Mhm.
now it's aimed at you guys. Like I finally found friends, and the more I want to stay with you, the more risk that you're gonna be ripped away from me. No matter how far I go, there's always gonna be like the world at my heels, basically. Uh, I've already gotten you involved, and no matter how kind and compassionate you are, eventually it'll be too much of a burden, and you'll betray me and cast me aside. Like it's her greatest
That
fear.
was her biggest fear, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't
It wasn't
want
that they would
them to
die, but
get
that they
to
would be
come
betrayed.
rescue her because, yeah, she just doesn't want to get betrayed again. She'd rather die here than be betrayed again. So, I mean, even like that is that leading into like, yeah, no, okay, we get it. We understand your enemy now. Shoot the flag.
The
So
way
the
Luffy
world is
says
your
it,
enemy.
yeah.
Got it. Shoot the flag.
Yeah.
The way
If
Luffy
the world
says,
is your enemy, the world is our enemy.
yeah. He says, I understand Robin's enemy very well. Like the way
Uh-huh.
he says it
Hmm.
indicates that indicates something. I won't
Mm.
say, but just
Yeah,
such a good scene. And did you watch the clip that Lucian sent you,
I
Iron?
did. Yes,
Was it any good?
it was good.
It's like
I
amazing
like.
direction.
So I mean, I'm
The
sure
voice
with
acting is
more
good.
context and build up, it would be better. But as of now, I still don't necessarily like anything I've seen in the anime more than the manga.
Yeah.
But
That's
that
fair.
is me.
This moment for me
Mm-hmm.
is the anime. It was just
Mm.
I grew up with this. It's hard to think about it,
I
but
can't
this is
read that
like
scene without hearing her voice.
yes, that's true. It's hard to explain what this arc means to me and what Robin means to me personally, just because I grew up with her and this arc specifically. Like I said, this part of the series I would rewatch all the time, along with
Mm-hmm.
Skypia and whatever happens after Enies Lobby stuff. So just to be able to read its original version,
Hmm.
it's kind of, I feel like I've come full circle to understanding what Oda was trying to give us and what he's trying to convey, and it's ultimately a message of hope and like don't lose it.
Yeah.
Cuz like Saul says, go out to the world, you're going to find those friends or that family, whatever it is, and they're going to stick there. They're going to stick up for you, whether it's
Yeah.
against a mean neighbor or the entire world, right?
Mm.
Or the world government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
You
find
just
crazy enough friends, if you find Luffy, if you find Monkey D. Luffy, he'll take on the world
Yeah.
government. Just to find the right friends.
And it's such a
But
good lesson
real
to
quick. I'm
learn.
sorry. If you two can keep going or end it or take a break, I don't care. I just have to go real quick. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Up to you.
Yeah, no, I agreed. It is a very good lesson for like, especially being in Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
Like I agree. Like for kids to be able to read that, like if they're feeling alone or something, and then, you know, well, the Straw Hats are my friends, sort of thing. Like I'll find my friends eventually. Like
Yeah.
that sort of early on to have that and read that, and I'm sure that probably helped out a lot of kids.
It definitely helped me out a lot.
Yeah,
It taught me like how to be patient because Robin, 20 years took her. 20 years to fight.
a
Even though
long
it's all
time.
fictional and it's not real and these people aren't real, these characters aren't real, like
Oh, but you can still learn lessons.
yeah, the emotion is there and the heart is there and you really feel like maybe he didn't, but maybe he did, but Oda just really understands people in the situation, I guess, and the way he set it up so well. Uh, it just I every time I go back and watch that scene, I start crying again because it's just that impactful
Yeah,
for
it's,
me
it's
at
very,
least.
very good.
Especially like when you get me when you're a child, right? And you know, so good. And I'm really glad we stopped here because you know, the next half is like the C train, balls to the wall. Like, like what's the other saying? Pedal to the metal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're going at it. And
Non-stop.
I'm so excited to see like the manga version of this because like I said, I've never read any of this. I haven't read any of this. I've only read like later on a little bit. I'll say which when we get to those arcs.
Yeah, no,
So
I mean, from here to, chapter 900 something, I, uh, I have not
900.
read. So,
Oh, really? That's really cool.
yeah, I mean, from like Alabasta, like mid Alabasta to, um, like actual Alabasta arc, not like Alabasta Saga, to 900 something ish is all new to me, manga wise. So
So for me, it's probably gonna be until like before 500 by a bit. So let's say like 500 is when I like read some of the arcs and then I would like skip here and there. So like
yeah,
but 500 onward you could say that I've read 500 till 1000, let's say. I've read like maybe 40%. No, 50% of that. Because I read the later parts more because I started reading week to week in 2017. So yeah, but when we get there, I'll be more specific about what I've read, what I haven't, and
mhm.
all that stuff. It's just I never read this part before. I've always watched it. Do you prefer the anime version or the manga version?
um, uh, I mean, at this point in time, probably the anime. Once we get to uh, I don't know if we want to. Aggro's not here, so if we want to say specific arc names, that's fine.
He's editing it though, so
That's fair. Once we get to post time skip second saga, like where the
uh
pace about episode, or well, it would be like chapter 700 in the manga, episode 630 ish of the anime. That
mhm.
arc is where the pace really drops off in the anime for me, personally at least.
Oh yeah, definitely after the time skip, it's trash. Everything sucks after the time skip for the anime.
I
So
enjoyed
bad.
most of the early stuff personally, post time skip, but like that first arc I really really liked, but the second one and the one after that took a bit. So
So sad. It's so sad because they're so good.
they are,
Wow.
yeah. I'm very excited for like the post time skip manga stuff, to see one how it looks,
Oh,
and
post time skip
I know
manga
it's
art is
so
amazing.
dense.
It's so much detail.
Yeah,
It's like, why are you putting this much detail? But like, please give me more detail. That's how I
yeah.
feel when I read post time skip One Piece.
He
Pre
has
time
like
skip
the
One Piece is like
double page
he's on training
spreads.
wheels.
like
Oh
now
God.
are like
Yeah.
the normal panels now.
Right? It's
It's
so
pretty crazy
insane.
the level of detail that goes into normal panels now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he makes stuff so small.
He has a lot of assistants,
That
apparently.
too, yeah.
But like doing that week to week must be a struggle.
I have to
Seriously.
imagine so, yeah.
I try to explain to my friend how like the manga industry works. He's like, they could just like do it digitally, right? Why is it like such a big deal?
You can
I
do
was
it
like,
digitally now, but
yeah, but Oda
it's
doesn't
still
do it digitally,
awful.
I'm pretty sure. What do you mean it's awful?
Well, just like you still need to draw it and still need to get it in
Yeah.
weekly. And
Yes.
so you're still giving yourself carpal tunnel and
Yes.
no time. So unless you're doing it bi-weekly or monthly, and even that is brutal.
You
Um,
know, I think One Piece isn't going to come out for the rest of December. I think there's a bunch of breaks that are happening at the same time. And
maybe I will wait to read then.
people were like arguing about whether One Piece should come out bi-weekly, but then there would be more pages, right? If it did
Mm,
come out bi-weekly. I don't think I would be opposed to it coming out bi-weekly. I mean, Attack on Titan came out monthly, right?
it did, yeah.
But it had like 30 pages, I'm pretty sure, or like less
Something
than
like
that.
that, yeah.
Yeah. If I could just have more than 15 pages, I would do monthly. I wouldn't care. It's just it's such like small little bursts, like entire chapters will just be like checking up on what everybody's doing, and those chapters are the worst because then you have to wait a week to actually get into a fight or get into a scene or get into something. Eh,
That's
Those
fair.
chapters are rough.
I think
Um,
sometimes, uh, like because I'm reading a good bit of different like Shonen Jump manga at a time, I don't really run into that problem where like I don't I haven't read stuff in like a little bit here just because of how many different uh I've just been busy recently, but like
right.
uh, weekly I've been following I don't even know how many different manga, but a whole lot. So
Hello, he
uh,
follows too many
hello.
manga.
Yes. So if there's a slow week on one, it's fine because, or if something doesn't come out that week,
Hmm.
it's fine because, well, I have other stuff to read.
You can read your
You
10
know,
billion light novels about isekai,
that's
mostly.
that. Yeah,
I
my
think my
70
problem.
isekai light
I
novels.
remember that one time you read like 20 in a week.
Oh
That's
my
been this week.
Oh no.
God. Um, I think for me, my problem is I forget that I'm reading other manga, and so like I'll keep up with One Piece every week, and then I'm like, oh, chapter didn't come out, or oh something. But then I remembered I was like, oh, I haven't read Black Clover in a while, or like one day I binged Undead Unluck until the
Haven't
latest
checked one out yet.
chapters.
Yeah.
I was like in the spring arc. I hadn't finished that, and then I just binged all of that.
Uh,
It was crazy. Undead Unluck is gonna be like one of the most popular anime out there. If it does become an anime, it's a really good series. I highly
the
recommend it.
the only time
Um,
I've ever or the only times I've ever read all of a manga and caught up to it, and then read it weekly. Like I've plenty of times caught up to it and then stopped reading for a while and then read again, like and a couple months later. But when it comes to like reading weekly or monthly, the only ones I've done are Attack on Titan, Girls Last Tour, and Act Dodge.
oof.
I do that
Yes.
with pretty much
Savage.
all the Shonen Jump manga. The Spy Family, My
Wow.
Hero, One Piece. Well,
Nah.
not that
Too
I
many.
guess I went from anime to manga with One Piece, but still.
Mhm.
If it's on Shonen Jump, like the app, I'll just read all of them and then read it weekly
Mhm.
I
if I
think
like it.
I caught up with Bleach and I waited for it to end. But One Punch Man I've been binging in little short bursts, and the latest arc that just finished was a lot of fun too. But
Mm,
before we end the episode, I wanted to
yes.
just we ended the chapters with them jumping off the building and landing on the train with Frankie getting hit by it. What did you guys think of that really funny moment? Where they wouldn't have even gotten there without the Frankie family and the Galilei Company and Kokoro Ba-san and
Yeah, they
just
do.
like all these pieces falling into place for them to get to where they need to go.
Yeah, a very good job is done at even when we're focusing on the Straw Hats. Every arc still has its like I don't know, the locations and
Local MVPs.
yeah, the local MVPs. They are still a focus and a focal point, even when it's mostly about the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats can't do what they're
Right?
doing without the locals.
I really love that.
Mhm.
And there's just this little panel where I just wanted to mention it, where they're lowering the bridge, and then Zoro makes this really evil face, and then Nami says, "What an evil face!" And then the next panel is Rob Lucci, and he's like the most excited. He's like, "I get to murder more people! I'm so excited!" And then Luffy's at the bottom, takes up half the page, and he says, "Here we go!" And he cracks his knuckles. And then they jump on the train, and Frankie gets hit by it, and then the chapters end. But I just wanted to
I just
end
love Luffy just
this
like,
episode.
all right, guys, we're going, and as usual, just grabs all of the Straw Hats and jumps.
That's the best. Luffy's such a good main character. He's
It's a
such a
Luffy thing to do.
well-defined character.
Yeah,
Like, you
because
can
like
tell.
he has those serious moments, like the "I want to live," you know, serious, shoot down that flag level moments where like he can be serious when he needs to be. But then he's able to be goofy, and it doesn't feel out of place in
Yeah,
either.
it doesn't feel
Not
like
a
he's
tonal shift.
inconsistent. He like
Yeah,
was
he's just
joking
Luffy.
around a little bit, but then him going like he's also just straightforward. Like no matter what. So, hey, you mean we're gonna fight the world government? Okay, shoot the flag. It's gotta go. Okay, Robin, stop whining. Get over here.
Stop whining.
Oh.
It's like
Such a child.
Get
even
over
when
your
he picked
emotional
her up the
trauma.
first time, right? Like she said, you need to take responsibility because I wanted to die,
Yeah.
right? Like that was the condition for having her join the crew. Was like, hey, I was gonna die down there, and you saved my life. Now it's your responsibility. Like that was the joining. That was the recruitment requirement for her joining. So he's
And
just
then
following
Luffy,
up.
right? Oh my god, that's so true. And Luffy's like, "Don't worry, guys. She's good. She's good."
We got it
So
handled.
strong. Anything else you guys want to mention? I think my thoughts I've cried enough this episode.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know, actually, since it's been a while, I just want to say it's been a long time, but I miss you, Kick and Claw Force. I think about you all the time.
I hate you so much.
R.I.P.
Why?
Never forget.
There was a lot of groups like that in this arc too. With like the wolves in the beginning and the mobs and all that stuff.
Well, fair. I guess, like genuinely, the One Piece character I've never forgotten is Saul. Like
Great.
in
Love
all
him.
seriousness, I have never
Saul.
forgotten Saul. His laugh, his impact, like
Also, his name's Saul.
fair, but shut up. I've loved him for forever, not just because of stupid dumb TV show.
No, I mean I just also like the
aside from
name
One Piece.
Saul in One Piece. It's like yes,
Oh, fair.
I am Luffy and Zoro and
Also his name is Jaguar
Usopp.
D. Saul. We didn't talk
Yeah, I was
about.
about
He
to
has
mention
D.
Yeah, that was very important. It was like the
Yeah.
most important part about his character.
Yeah,
That's
he
how
is
good
now
his character was. We didn't even
the
mention that.
fifth confirmed D name.
Yeah, what are
There's
we at?
Monkey D. Luffy,
Uh-huh.
Gold D. Roger, Port Goss D. Ace, Marshall D. Teach, Jaguar D. Saul.
So just to be clear, we got Luffy, Ace, Blackbeard, Saul, and who was the other one? Oh,
Pirate
yeah,
King.
yeah, the guy, the guy, yeah, the man himself, actually.
Yeah.
The dude, the
The
man,
dude.
the coolest ever.
Yeah. The one they're all chasing after. The one who
You
was
see
like,
Saul
hey.
die on screen.
Yeah.
He did die. He died in the first chapter.
Mm,
Wait, did you say
All
Saul
I know
or
is
Saul.
Saul.
Roger?
Saul.
Yeah, Saul.
Did we
We
Oh.
see
saw.
Saul die on screen?
Yeah, he
Okay.
got shot in the face with a cannon, which he
Oh
survived,
yeah, he
and
was
then
fine.
we saw him got like ice aged by
Okay.
Aokiji.
Mm-hmm.
Aokiji. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about Gold
He'll
Roger.
be back
That's why I
in
said
some
we saw him
form, maybe a
die in chapter
flashback.
1.
Either flashback or he's still alive. He'll like you don't just call him D and then forget about that. So it'll be important in some capacity.
Hmm.
Cool.
That's all.
You
I
think
would say.
that's
Okay.
why she's so interested in the Will of D?
Probably.
A
Yeah.
little.
I would assume.
Probably. I mean,
'Cause,
probably
like,
also the
remember
fact that they're
she-
related to one another.
What do you mean by that?
Like the Will of D, and also like they're obviously related. You can just assume they're both important. And the polnographs.
Okay,
These
we're done
both-
speculating.
Oh, we're
Stop
done
speculating.
speculating.
It's over.
Am I getting too
It's
close? Okay, I see how
It's
it's
over.
going. I like it. Fine. I've gotten too close. I must be killed. That's how
Bang!
it is. I see.
We killed our captain finally.
Kill him.
We can run. Ship tightly.
And the name
No
of
more,
the
it's
kingdom
good.
is Bang.
The Kingdom of D.
Oh,
Big brain. Big brain.
he knows too much.
Gotta get rid of him. And no more it's great or it's good. And
No,
then
I
he
will.
just
I will try to
silent
have
for
details
5
next
minutes.
time when it hasn't been over a month since I've read.
That's
Next
on
time,
me,
our
though.
captain will be taking notes.
I will try.
And we're not ranking either because we haven't finished the arc.
No, we're not. But next time we are. Think about
Yes.
it. It's
Sucks
gonna
to
be
suck.
pretty high up there.
Yeah.
I already have it empty so that it's my number 1.
Ooh, fancy.
Anyways.
You
Me
said we
too.
weren't ranking.
Shut up. Shut up right now. I hate everything. I hate all of you.
So what
Okay.
chapters are we reading next week?
We'll figure it out
401 to
later.
430, I think, but that may
400 to
change.
430.
Yes, we
Because
just.
the last
we
chapter
Oh,
was
just-
you're right.
99.
Sorry. Yeah.
So read 430.
Yes, read
Yeah.
till 430.
Okay, I know it's usually the same every time, but I just gotta be sure.
Yes.
Again, that may change. So check the description. If you're following along,
Yes.
I always end up changing
and
it.
we'll have
halfway
it on
through
the
read.
thumbnail actually. So
Yes, it will be on the thumbnail. I definitely don't put it in the description. I always forget to do that.
gotcha. So no worries. It'll be in the thumbnail for sure. Whatever we read.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you guys for watching and or reading. Watching and or reading?
Yeah, thank you
We're
for
not
reading
reading.
the podcast.
Maybe reading a One Piece, but thanks for listening to us.
My brain is so frazzled. Oh my god. This was a lot of fun. I'm so glad that we're starting this again.
We're
I'm so
back.
sorry for my absence.
We're back.
These past
They had to
months.
go to school like responsible people. Ridiculous.
Well, I'm done
We're
with
getting
school.
our
I'm on my winter break,
doctorates
so.
in archaeology.
At age 8, from 4 to 8. God, I hate Robin now. I had PhD at age 8. What a pretentious prick. Anyway.
Where can people find your stuff, Saflam?
Well, I stopped posting on my blog because of things happening in my life. So I just finished a blog post today, actually. It'll come out on Friday. I'm on Substack at Saflam. Whatever. If you go to my YouTube, I'm gonna start YouTube again too soon, hopefully.
Whoa.
All of my hobbies, I'm just gonna get back into them. So maybe
You know
in
what?
the next episode,
I'm gonna get a list of links together or start putting them in the description. So you can check
Yeah.
the
You do
description of the
that, bro.
YouTube channel and you'll see all the places to go, including
Yes.
Saflam's blog and YouTube channel, Lucian's
Nothing.
light novel
You
recommendation.
can find
page.
me on at Under the Iron Flag on Twitter
Whoa.
and on
You
YouTube
hear that?
and
He says
wherever
he's gonna
else you might
run the
listen to
Twitter account
podcasts.
for me because I don't do it and I forget to. And you can find my Twitch channel and also a link to our God of War Ragnarok spoiler cast.
I need to listen to that.
It's
man.
very good and almost 4 hours long.
It is by far the longest podcast because we covered
Yes,
50
I don't
hours
think
of
we will
content.
ever do another one that long. We will have to see. It's a
Thank you,
challenge.
Okay, okay.
Will, for being so patient.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm so glad you guys did that because I was not available that Monday and I haven't played the game yet.
That was the
So,
more important part.
yes. Good one, as the French like to say. Anyways, thank you guys for listening or watching our episode today. We're glad to be back. We're excited. We're gonna finish Enies lobby hopefully, and then after that we'll have a live recording. So be excited for that soon. And hopefully Iron will put all the links in the description to all of our stuff.
Probably.
Thank you for listening to At Under the Iron Flag, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.